group of individuals or things, and comparative is basically two people, okay, or things. So as you rightly mentioned, okay. So when we compare one thing to the other, we call it a comparative adjective. When we describe that something is, when we describe something stands out, something that is better or worse than anything else, then we use the superlative adjectives. Okay. Good, thank you. Let's start with the first one. So when we talk about the comparative and superlative adjectives, a couple of things that are of importance is that whenever you are comparing, okay, you need two things to compare, to make a comparison. Okay. So basically ensure that whenever you are describing, when you want to describe how someone or something changes, we can use comparative and, okay. When we compare one thing with the other, we can use the comparative.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Abhay. Good afternoon.
Sir, comparative means comparison with two person, and superlative comparison with more than two adjective.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Let's start with the exercise. If I have some questions in between, I will definitely ask. Okay. Swati, go ahead, read the first one.
Yes, sir. Samsung phones are dash to use compared to Micromax phones. So answer will be Samsung phones are easier to use compared to Micromax phones.
Easy, easier, easiest. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good. Thank you. Minute. Okay. So along with this particular one, I will also give you another sentence, okay? Or maybe we'll do that later, that's fine. So that once we are done with the topic, no problem. Swati, go ahead, read the next one.
Yes, sir. क्या आपको पता है कि इस फोन की सबसे खराब बात क्या है? Do you know the worst thing about this phone?
Very good. Worst thing, yes. Worst. Yes, correct. There's no word like baddest, okay? Bad, worse, and worst. These are the three forms, like good, better, and best. Bad, worse, and worst. Okay. And good, better, best. Okay. These are the three forms. So the base form, the base adjective is bad, comparative is worse, superlative is worst. Okay. सबसे खराब बात क्या है? So that has to be the worst thing. Again, the superlative degree. Okay. Good. Thank you. Khushi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, read the next slide.
Superlatives के आगे हमेशा the most का इस्तेमाल होता है.
Okay. Go ahead, read the next one.
It is the slimmest phone in the world.
Slimmest is how you pronounce. Slimmest. Read it again.
Slimmest. Slimmest.
एक बार फिर से पढ़िए. Read it again.
Slimmest.
पूरा sentence पढ़िए.
It is the slimmest phone in the world.
आप जो pronounce कर रहे हो, what you are pronouncing is slimmest. That is incorrect. That is wrong pronunciation. The word is slim. Slim, slimmest. SL is the spelling. So slim, slimmest. Read it again.
It is the slimmest phone in the world.
Sil नहीं है वो. Sil नहीं है. It's slur. Sil नहीं है. Slimmest is the right pronunciation. Repeat the word after me. मेरे बाद word repeat कीजिए. Slim. Slimmest. Yes, that's correct. So it is the slimmest phone in the world. Okay. Good. Thank you. All right. Z, read the next slide, please.
I just brought a Micromax phone.
Read it again. Read it again. Just read the red part. Read it again.
Okay, sir. I just brought a Micromax.
Is it brought or bought?
Bought.
Yeah. So you need to read it like that. I just bought. Yeah.
I just bought a Micromax phone.
Bought nahi, bought.
Bought.
Bought. I just bought a Micromax phone. How's it?
It has a wider screen than most of the phones.
My phone screen is the widest. What is the comparative degree here?
Yes, sir.
Which is the
Comparative.
comparative? Which one is the comparative sentence?
In the second red line, sir.
Okay, it has a wider screen than most of the phones. And which is the superlative one?
Widest, sir.
Widest, absolutely right. So it has a wider screen. So as I mentioned, the comparison can also be like this. Then, it has a wider screen than most of the phones. So here, the speaker is comparing the screen, the width of the screen of that particular phone to the other phones. And then the other person is stating that, but my phone is the widest, basically. So the moment you say widest, it's understood that it's wider than anything else. So there, it has to be a superlative. Second one is a comparative, where the speaker is comparing the width of the screen with the width of the other phones. Okay. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Go ahead, read the next one.
तुम यह पुराना फोन क्यों इस्तेमाल कर रहे हो? Oldest. Yeah. Why are you using this oldest phone? Older phone.
Okay. What is the sentence?
Oh.
तुम यह पुराना फोन क्यों इस्तेमाल कर रहे हो?
Oh, सबसे पुराना, sir. Yeah, I'm wrong.
So what here, you don't need any comparative or superlative. You can just use the base form of the verb.
Okay, sir.
Why are you using this old phone? यहाँ पे there is no need. There is no. Is there a comparison?
No, sir.
Is there a superlative?
No.
No, sir.
So that's why you
सबसे
use
पुराना,
the
no,
yeah. So that's why you use just the base form of the adjective. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. Good. Thank you. Abhay, go ahead. Read the next one. Abhay.
Yes, sir. The phone I want to buy is
Very expensive. Yeah. The phone I want to buy is very expensive. Yeah, it's correct. Here again, there is no comparative or superlative. It's just the base form of the verb of the adjective is used. Expensive with words like this, okay, multiple syllables. We use more and most. More is used for comparative and most is used for superlative. This is the most expensive phone in this category, or this phone is more expensive than the one that you have. Okay. So, but here the speaker is referring to the base form of the verb of the adjective. Sorry, the phone I want to buy is very expensive. That's it. Okay. Go ahead, Abhay. Read the next one. Abhay, you are on mute. Go ahead. Read the next one. आपकी आवाज क्लियर नहीं है अभय. I am unable to hear you. Abhay, please check your connection. I can barely hear you. Dipali, go ahead. Read this slide.
Yes, iPhone is more expensive than most of the phones.
Okay.
Third one, sir.
Yeah. The iPhone is more expensive than most of the phones. Correct. Here it's the comparative. Go ahead. Read the next one.
Ram phone cheaper than Sham's phone.
Yeah, very good. Cheap, cheaper, cheapest. Correct. Absolutely. Again, comparative degree. Ram's phone is cheaper than Sham's phone. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Vivek, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Please read the next slide. Yes, please read the next slide. Vivek, you're on mute. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sir. I'm going to buy the latest phone.
You're going to buy the latest phone. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to buy the latest phone. Thank you. Read the red part on the conversation. Just read the red part.
My phone has 13 megapixel camera.
It looks slim and expensive.
No, it is very cheap and the design is so classy.
I will buy a new phone next month.
Buy the same model. It's better than other phone.
Yeah, very good. Now tell me, how many adjectives do you see on this slide? What are the adjectives that you see on this slide?
I don't know, sir.
Adjectives, something that tells you about the quality or quantity of something. So how many adjectives do you see here on the entire slide? Something that is a describing word, जो एक किसी चीज को describe करता है. Sorry? कौन से adjectives दिख रहे हैं आपको इस slide पे?
Okay. 2, 3.
Which one? Tell me which one.
Expensive, classy.
Why not slim?
Yeah, slim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, 13 is also a adjective.
Just a minute. Slim, expensive, classy. Why not cheap?
Cheap. Okay.
Yeah. Then new.
Sir, पहले तो adjective किसको बोलते हैं? I don't know.
Okay. Adjective is a describing word. जो एक word किसी चीज को describe करता है. Right? So
Okay.
या तो quantity बताता है या तो quality बताता है. Okay. So quality
Okay.
किस तरह की क्या चीज है उसे adjective कहते हैं. It's called a describing word. Right? That's why I call the adjective is a describing word. Verb is a word that shows action. So adjective is slim, expensive, cheap, classy, new, okay, better. These are the adjectives given here. And 13, yes, 13 is also, the number 13 is also, can be considered here as an adjective because you are describing, that is the quantity, okay, how much, okay, basically, okay. All right, just give me a minute. Okay, thank you. Let's continue. Meera, read the next slide, please.
The screen of the new phone is getting bigger and bigger.
Screen of the new phones, plural hai wo.
Yes, sir. The screen of the new phone is getting bigger and bigger.
Don't say bigger and biggest, it's bigger and bigger. Okay. Read the next one.
The iPhone is getting more and more expensive.
Very good. More and more expensive. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Correct. Thank you. Let's
Thank
continue.
you, sir.
You're welcome. Shobha, go ahead. Read the next slide.
Yes, sir. Okay, so यहाँ बताना
That's okay. Read the Hindi. Read the English sentences. That's fine. Shobha, your voice is breaking. I'm unable to hear you. Read the English sentence. That's fine.
So okay, sir. I have the network issue, sir. The
No problem.
classier the phone, the more expensive it is.
The classier the phone, the more expensive it is. Yes, absolutely. So basically, when something has greater quality, it is more expensive. So the classier, when you buy a classier phone, it is more expensive. Basically, the meaning is the classier the phone, the more expensive it is. So this is just we'll just rephrase the sentence. So जब हमें यह बताना हो कि एक चीज दूसरे पर निर्भर करती है, तो comparative adjectives का इस्तेमाल किया जाता है. Yes, when something is dependent on the other. Okay, here what is the dependence here? Here, the cost is dependent on what? On the quality. Okay. So that's what it means by किसी चीज पर निर्भर करती है, means when the something is dependent on something. So when you buy a classier phone, it is more expensive. The sentence that you can use is, the classier the phone, the more expensive it is. Okay. Another example of this can be, okay, just a minute. Okay. Like we use this phrase, the more the merrier, right? The more the merrier. Jitna zyada utna zyada acha hai. You know, whatever the context may be, the more the merrier, basically. Okay. Or let's say the lesser, something like, lesser.
The more practice
Or-
makes man perfect, sir.
Yeah, but here there is no, there is no comparison here, basically. What is the sentence? Yeah, you can say the more you practice, the better for you. Okay. So one thing is dependent on the other. Like, it's better for you if you put in more effort. So yeah, correct. Good example. So you can use that. Yes, absolutely. The lesser oil we use in food, the better it is for health. Okay. So for example, if you say the lesser oil we use, the less oil we use is in food is better, it is better for health, for example. So here, two things are dependent on each other. So similarly, in this particular sentence given, it's the quality and the cost that is dependent on each other. So the classier the phone, जितना ज्यादा अच्छा फोन होगा उतना ही ज्यादा उसका दाम होगा. Basically, the more expensive it is. So basically, one sentence is one part of the sentence is dependent on the other. Okay, so cost and quality. Shobha, go ahead, read the next slide.
The bigger the screen, the brightest, the better.
Read it properly.
is,
It's
first
not
one.
bigger. It's not bigger. It's brightest.
The brighter, sorry, sir. The brighter the screen, the better it is.
Yeah, very good. The brighter
one,
the
sir.
correct. The brighter the screen, the better it is. Jitni zyada bright ho screen, that is better. So this again is dependent. So here they're comparing, comparative degree using something that is already stated in the sentence, which is the brighter the screen, jitni zyada screen bright ho, utna hi behtar hai. That's what it means.
May I ask one question, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, here we are putting the in front of comparative degree also.
Yeah, that's fine.
The brighter the screen, the better it is. Usually we put the in front of superlative degree.
That's a different thing. That is different. That is when you're talking. So superlative degree is when you are talking about something that is the best or something that stands out. That is a different thing. Here, the comparison is with itself. It's with itself, basically. One thing is dependent on the other. This is the example given here. This is what it is. So एक चीज दूसरे पर dependent है. So what is dependent here in this case? The brighter the screen, the better it is. So here you can use because your comparison is within itself. Basically, one thing is dependent on the other. What? The quality of the phone is dependent on the brightness of the screen. That's what it is here. So उसका कहने का मतलब है कि दूसरे चीज, something that is not as bright as what we are referring to as a speaker, the brighter the screen is, the better it is. You can complete the sentence stating, the brighter the screen, the better it is for visibility, for example. So here, what am I comparing? I'm comparing the visibility factor comparing with the brightness of the screen. So when you use sentences like this, you can use with comparative degree as well. That's fine. Because without that, it will be grammatically incorrect. Here you have to use the definite article. Otherwise, without it, it will be incorrect. You cannot say brighter the screen, better it is. No.
Okay, sir. Got it.
So the definite article is important here in this case because you are stating something that is definite. What? The brighter the screen, the better it is. So whenever you make comparative degrees like this, always ensure that you use the article in this case. Okay. All right. Thank you. Let's continue. Balaji, go ahead. Read the next slide.
Old phone Is the
Read it properly, guys. The word is different. You're reading it something different. It's not old, it's older.
the older the phone, the cheaper it is.
Yeah, very good. The older the phone, the cheaper it is. Good, very good.
Cheaper it is.
जितना ज़्यादा पुराना होगा, उतना ही सस्ता होगा phone. Yeah, correct. Go ahead, read the next one.
My phone's processor is slower than yours.
That's very good. So in this case, it is understood that the speaker is referring to processor. So here you don't need to repeat the word again. My phone's processor is slower than your phone's processor. Not needed. It's understood. Okay. It's understood because you have already mentioned it in the first part of the sentence. So we know what we are talking about. Basically, we are talking about the phone's processor. So you don't need to repeat it. Repeating it's not incorrect English, but it does not sound right. Okay, so try and avoid that. We always try and ensure that we use less number of words to convey the meaning. So in order to be a little more concise in terms of your language and ensure that it is more crisp and clear, please ensure you don't repeat. So here, my phone's processor is slower than yours. We understand when the speaker says slower than yours means slower than your phone's processor. It's understood. Okay. It does not mean that slower than you. No. So that slower than yours. What? Phone's processor. So it's understood. You don't need to repeat it. Okay. Okay. The other Swati. Go ahead. Read the next one.
Xiaomi phone are the cheaper phone in the market.
Say the more cheaper, right? It's cheap, cheaper, cheapest.
Okay.
Read it again.
Xiaomi phones are the cheapest phone in the market.
Phones, plural.
Phones in the market.
Right. Please read the words like if it is a plural, read it like a plural. Xiaomi phones are the cheapest phones in the market. Cheap, cheaper, cheapest. Okay.
Cheapest.
Yeah. Read the next one.
Micromax phones are the easiest to use.
Micromax phones are the easiest to use. Absolutely. Superlative. Easiest to use. Correct. Correct. Thank you. Okay. Shima, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Read the next one.
या कंपैरेटिव में मोर और लेस का इस्तेमाल होता है, सुपरलेटिव में मोस्ट और लिस्ट का इस्तेमाल होता है.
Yeah, absolutely right. Less, lesser, least. Okay, that's how it is. And more, most. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Read the next one.
Okay, sir. Xiaomi phones are the least expensive among all phones. I think Micromax is the less expensive than Xiaomi.
Right. Xiaomi phones are the least expensive among all phones. Basically, here is a superlative degree. I think Micromax is less expensive than Xiaomi is a comparative degree. Okay, good.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you all a couple of questions individually. You need to answer those. Okay. So let's start with. Okay, let's start with Kavya. Can you hear me? You've yet to answer. So let me ask you. Kavya, can you hear me? Kavya, you're on mute at the moment. I'm unable to hear you. Yes. Okay. Good. So I'm going to give you one sentence. Okay. Basically two sentences. Okay. And there will be you need to convert. First thing, you need to convert two sentences and make it into one sentence. Okay. And without changing the meaning of the sentence. So I'll give you an example. First, let me type the sentence here. Okay. And I'll tell you what needs to be done. Okay. Can you see my message on the chat now? There is a sentence that I typed. Jeremy is 10 years old.
No, sir.
Okay. All right. No problem. Give me a minute.
Sir.
That's okay. Some of you may not be able to see it. So it's okay. I will share my screen with you. Okay. Give me a minute. I will share my screen with you all. So that's okay. Guys, please be on mute. There's some sound in the background. Thank you. Give me a minute. I will share my screen. So that everyone can see the sentences. Okay. Okay, it's good to go. Okay. Okay, Kavya, I'm sharing my screen, so I will then ask you accordingly. Okay, you just need to follow the instructions. Where is the word pad? Okay, I'm just trying to share my screen, but the option is somewhat not available. So just give me a minute. I will probably need to change some setting here. Strange. No, probably the app. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Let me share my screen with you all this way. Okay. Can you see my screen, Kavya? Can you see a word pad?
It's not clear, sir.
You need to
Okay,
enlarge
sir.
it. You need to enlarge it. Okay. Yeah. So the first sentence. So basically, what you need to do is you need to read the two sentences and then complete this sentence without changing the meaning of the sentence. So either it can be a superlative or it can be a comparative sentence. Okay. Or comparative. That depends on you, what you understand from the two sentences. You read the two sentences, you understand the meaning. Okay. You derive the meaning from it and then complete it, make it into one sentence by conveying the meaning that is given here in this sentence. Okay. Read the first two sentences.
Jeremy is 10 years old. Charlie is 8 years old.
What do you think should be the sentence here if I want to make it into one sentence? Jeremy is?
Jeremy is elder than Charlie.
Very good. Jeremy is?
Elder than?
Older than?
Older than?
Charlie. Yeah, excellent. Very good. Well done. Thank you. Read the second one.
The Alps are very high. There are no higher mountains in Europe.
So now if I want to start the sentence with the Alps are, then what would be your sentence?
Yeah. The Alps are the highest mountains in Europe.
Excellent. Very good. The Alps are the highest
mountains in Europe.
Very good. Mountains in Europe. Okay. Excellent. Very good. Well done. Thank you. Good. Just give me a minute. Excellent. So this is how we frame, make two sentences into one. I will share my screen again. Just give me a minute, guys. Message. Okay. Guys, please be on mute. There's some sound in the background. Thank you. Okay. Z, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Read the third one.
An ocean is large. A sea is not as large as an ocean.
So what will be your sentence if you need to make it into one?
An ocean is larger than a sea.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. Well done. Read the next one.
A
Rolls Royce. Rolls
Rolls
Royce, the famous car. Yeah.
A Rolls Royce costs a lot of money.
Lot of money. Read it again.
A Rolls Royce costs a lot of money.
Costs.
Costs a lot of money. A mini costs less.
Now, what will be your comparative sentence?
A Rolls Royce cost is more than 2 mini.
No, you don't make the sentence in that way. So a Rolls Royce costs, it is costs plural, okay, more than a mini. Okay, this is how we make a sentence comparative. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, basically what it means is when I say a Rolls Royce costs more than a mini, basically means that the cost of a Rolls Royce is more than that of a mini. Okay, so this is how we make comparative one. Okay, all right.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can we make it like this? The Rolls Royce cost more expensive than a mini.
No, a Rolls Royce is more expensive. If you use the word expensive, then you cannot use the word cost because it means it's the same thing.
Okay.
That's a repetition.
And sir, that Jeremy, that first sentence, Jeremy is 10-year-old wala sentence, sir. Could I make it like this? Jeremy is 2 years. Jeremy is 2 years elder than जो भी नाम है.
Sorry, I didn't understand. You are saying?
Sir, that please share the screen.
Yeah, I got it. So you are basically talking about because one person is 8 years old and one is 10. So Jeremy is
2 years older, elder than.
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can say that. That's fine. You are basically talking about using it as the age, basically, whatever age was mentioned there. The difference in age, basically. So he's 2 years elder than, yeah, but here you cannot use the word elder. It'll be older, okay? He's 2 years older than Mike. That'll be the sentence, not elder, okay? See, elder is used when you talk about what? When we talk about someone, you know, as one person, like for example, one or more out of a group of associated people. For example, let's say meet him. Meet whoever. Okay, he is my you know he's my elder brother, or he's my eldest son, for example. Okay, so that's when you use the word elder, eldest. Okay? Otherwise, you use the word old, older. Okay.
Okay.
In
Thank you.
that case, you're welcome. Welcome. Okay. Balaji, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Please read this sentence. John
results were bad.
John's.
Fred's results.
Go slow. Whenever you read, Balaji,
Balaji,
read slowly so that you speak a little more clearly. Okay. You rush a lot. So read slowly so that you can read more clearly. Okay. Go ahead. Good. John's
results were bad. Fred's results were bad. Fred's results were very poor.
Poor. Complete this sentence.
The Fred's results were worse than the John's results.
Okay.
Were worse than the John's result.
Cannot say worster. There's no worster. It's bad, worse, worst. Okay. So yeah,
Results were worse than the.
This is one way of making the sentence. Fred's results were worse than John's. Okay. The other way of making the sentence is what? Poorer. Okay, is also a word.
Results.
You can use both. You can use the word worse. Okay. Bad, worse, worst. So you use worse to define, to compare. Okay. So you can use worse. You can also use poorer. Okay. Both are correct. Poor, poorer, poorest. He is the poorest man I've ever seen. Or we are poorer than them, for example, and he is poor. So poor, poorer, poorest. These are also the three forms. Okay. You can use it that way as well. All right. So either were worse or were poorer than John's. It's fine. You can use it that way. Okay. Just give me a minute. There's some error that I'm facing here. That's fine. You got it right, Balaji?
Yes, I got it, sir.
Yeah, I will need to stop sharing. There's some error on my Word page. Just give me a minute. I'll need to cancel it. It says Word has lost the data. No problem. So yeah, this is how we convert two sentences into one. I will still share some more sentences. Give me a minute. Okay. Share my screen. Okay, can you guys see my notepad? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Swati, go ahead, read this next one. We've done this John 1. Read this.
Sir, please, could you please increase the size?
I'm doing that. Yeah. That's fine.
This exercise is not very difficult. I expected it to be more difficult. So it should be like this exercise is not as difficult as I thought.
See, one is given that this is not very difficult. I expected it to be more difficult. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what is the meaning of this?
मतलब ये exercise is इतनी कठिन नहीं है जितनी मैंने सोचा था ये और भी कठिन होगी.
So what is the meaning of it? This exercise is
कम कठिन है. It is less. This exercise is less difficult as I thought.
what when something is less. Yeah, you can
Easier.
say that. Easier, exactly. Easier than I expected. Yeah. This exercise is less difficult is fine. You can say that. Or this exercise is easier than I expected. Both are correct. Okay. Is easier than I expected. Okay. Or your sentence is also fine. You can say that this exercise is less difficult than I expected. Also say then I expected it to be, but that's fine. Even if you don't use that, it's okay. All right. Shima, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Please read this next sentence, the two sentences.
Okay, sir. The weather is not very good today. It's raining. Tomorrow, I hope the weather will better than today.
Will be better. That's it.
Will be better.
Yeah. You've already mentioned something in the first sentence, but yeah, even if you say will be better than today, it's okay. Even if you don't say it's okay, it's understood. So today, because in the first sentence, the speaker has already indicated that the weather is not very good, right? So it's raining. Tomorrow, I hope the weather will be better. It's fine. It's understood that when you are talking about tomorrow, it's in reference to today. Yes.
We can use the would.
Yeah, you can say. Yeah, you can say that. Tomorrow, I hope the weather would be better. That's fine. Yeah, you can also use that. I hope the weather will be better. In this case, you can use both. It's fine. That's fine.
Can I use here than today?
Yeah, that's what I said. You can use it, but it's understood. If I say, if
Yes.
I've already mentioned the weather is not very good today, then I don't need to use it today here again because you know that you are already referring to today's weather. That's why कल की जब
Yes.
बात कर रहे हैं तो आज के रेफरेंस में ऑलरेडी कहा है स्पीकर ने. You don't need to repeat it.
Yeah.
You can try and
Yes.
avoid it. It's okay, right?
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Dipali, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, the one who just joined. Okay. Dipali, read this next sentence.
People are not very friendly in big cities. It's not the same in small towns. People are, sir, I have to put a word here. People are friendly or social.
We are doing comparative and superlative degrees. Basically, what you need to do is you need to convert the sentence into one sentence without changing by conveying the meaning of the sentence.
People are social.
No, I said we are using comparative and superlative degrees. You don't need to give me the meaning. I'm telling you, you have to convey the meaning by making it into one sentence, converting it into one sentence. Read it again.
People are not very friendly in big cities. It's not the same in small towns.
Now tell me, what is the comparison? Where is the comparison happening? Between what? Between who or what?
Between the nature of the people.
From?
People are not friendly in big cities, but they are friendly in small cities.
Yeah. So my question is, what is the comparison?
Yes.
The comparison, your answer should be the comparison is between people from big cities and smaller towns. Okay, this is the answer. So now compare. People are, by convey the meaning given in the two sentences.
People are less social in big cities.
Why are you using the word social? Social word diya hi nahi hai yahan par.
Okay, sir. People are less friendly in big cities.
No. Is that the comparative that we use for friendly? The adjective friendly. Friendly का comparative word क्या है?
May I say?
Give me a minute, guys. Give me a minute. Let her complete. Dipali, what is the word for friendly? L-I-Y से end हो रहा है. So what will it become? You add I-E-R to that to make it comparative and E-S-T to make it superlative. Now tell me, what is the word? Comparative word. Costly का क्या होता है? Costly का क्या comparative or superlative होता है?
Costliest.
So what is the comparative for friendly?
Yes, sir. Friendlier and
Friendliest.
I don't think so, sir.
It is correct.
Is it, sir?
Yeah, absolutely.
Friendlier
The word
and
ends with
friendlier?
Y. Yeah, friendlier. So yeah, he's the friendliest person I've ever met in my life. And he is friendlier than my brother, for example. So friendly, friendlier, friendliest. These are the three words. Now tell me, what is the sentence?
People are friendlier.
Complete the sentence.
People are friendlier than big cities.
People are.
It's not the same in small towns. People are friendlier in small cities, in small towns.
Exactly. This is the sentence. So when I say people are not very friendly in big cities, it's not the same in small towns. People are friendlier in small towns. This is the meaning of the sentence. Okay, you got it?
Okay.
Or the other way, of saying this is people in the other way of saying the sentence is people in big cities, okay, are
less friendlier.
Less friendly in big cities, or are less friendly is fine as well. You can say that in this case, okay. Or people in big cities are not as friendly
as in a small town.
Those in small towns. Okay, this is another way of saying the sentence. Okay, so yeah, but the meaning of the sentence in essence is this: people are friendlier in small towns. This is the sentence. Okay,
It is another sentence, sir.
which one? Yes, I gave another way of saying the same sentence without changing the meaning. That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. Meaning क्या है इस sentence का मतलब ये है कि speaker is stating that people in the bigger cities are not very friendly. That's not the same in small towns. So the meaning is people are friendlier in small towns, or people in big cities are less friendlier than the ones in small cities.
So
in
we can
small
say
towns.
that people are very friendlier small city than big cities.
No, here we are using the comparative. So the word that you need to use is friendlier, not more, not very friendly. Very friendly का मतलब है आपने base form use किया है. You are not comparing with anyone.
Oh,
This is the base form of the verb. People, yes, there is no comparative or superlative. This is the base form of the adjective. यहाँ पे कोई अगर मैं इसको हटा दूं और ये अगर मैं कहूं सिर्फ people are not very friendly in big cities, then there is no comparison. It is simply stating something what you feel, but there's no comparison between any other thing. That's why. Okay?
okay.
Comparison दिखाने के लिए आपको friendlier या friendliest use करना ही पड़ेगा. That is the way you show the comparison. Okay? Deepak, can you hear me? You've just joined.
Yes, sir.
Deepak, read the sentence, the next one.
The Prime Minister is an important person.
An important person. Read it again.
The Prime Minister is an important person.
Un नहीं है वो. Un pronunciation नहीं. It's an.
And.
Yes.
Yes, sir. The Prime Minister is an important person, but he is less important than President.
Now make it into one sentence. The President is the. The लिखा है तो वो आपका hint होना चाहिए. Superlative degree.
The President.
Important is an adjective.
Most important.
Very good, excellent. Is the most important
person.
Yeah, is the most important person. Okay, yeah, that's fine. In the country or whatever, if you want to add, you can. Otherwise, it's okay. It's understood. So the Prime Minister is more important. Is an important person. So here the base form of the verb. However, is less important than the President. So that the meaning of the sentence is the President is the most important person in a country. Okay, or in our country basically, or in any other country. The President is the most important person. Okay, good, very good. Thank you.
Sir, we can convert this sentence into comparative also.
Why do we need to convert it?
Sir, because in that particular sentence, only two persons are mentioned.
But there's no comparison given, no, with the president, the prime minister. यहाँ पे अगर लिखा होता the prime minister is less important, okay, is not very important, yeah, less important, then you can understand. But here, the importance of prime minister is stated.
Okay.
Not in comparison, yeah. In essence, logically, yes, in comparison with the president, but the sentence started with what is the. So अगर is the लिखा है, तो उसका मतलब इसका तो एक ही logic हो सकता है, is the most important person. That's why. Okay. So welcome. Vivek, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Please read the sentence.
People say that Chinese is difficult to learn. English is not as difficult to learn.
That means Chinese is
easier than Chinese, sir, I can say English is easier than Chinese language.
Sentence starts with Chinese is. तो आपको इसी को complete करना है. This is the exercise.
Chinese is tough than.
नहीं, understand. पहले meaning समझने की कोशिश कीजिए. फिर से पढ़िए. What is the sentence? The first sentence.
People say that Chinese is difficult to learn.
Okay. What is the second sentence?
English is not as difficult to learn.
Which one is more difficult? English or Chinese? Comparison किसके बीच में है?
Chinese difficult, sir.
Yeah. So now frame the sentence. Chinese is
difficult to learn.
Comparison कैसे करेंगे? With this adjective. What is the comparative word? More and most. यहाँ पे लिखा है, right? More and most.
Most. Okay. Yeah, most.
So now what will you use?
Chinese is the most difficult to learn than
No, my friend. You need to understand. The most अगर कह दिया, तो then you do not use English because then there is no comparison. You are using it as a superlative. यहाँ पे हम comparison कर रहे हैं. आपने अभी कहा कि we are comparing Chinese with English. So now, if you are comparing Chinese with English, you need to use English as well. So Chinese is more difficult than English. Okay? Chinese is more difficult to learn than English. This is the sentence, okay? Guys, always understand the meaning of the sentences and then frame your sentence. We are not in a hurry. हमको जल्दी नहीं है आंसर जानने की. Take your time. Understand the meaning of the sentence and then frame a sentence. It's a basic thing. because there are two things mentioned, the comparison is between the two things. And because the sentence starts with Chinese is, you can say Chinese is more difficult than English. Okay. This is how we convert two sentences into one without changing or by conveying the meaning of the sentence. Okay. All right. So well done, guys. Next time when we do this exercise, we will also do something where you can probably, recognize some error. Let me see if I have some sentences. I will share it with you all. Give me a minute.
Yes, sir. It is interesting, sir.
Thank you. Give me a minute. Let me see if I have some sentences where you can identify some errors. Okay. There is a topic on comparative and superlative on our app as well. Please do that in your free time. Okay. Experience. Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay. We have a couple of minutes. Just give me a minute. Guys, please be on mute. There's some sound in the background. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. 3 sentences. Okay. Abhay, can you hear me? Abhay, can you hear me? Okay, we don't have much time. Yeah, Swati, can you hear me? Just read the sentence, the first one.
Yes, sir. People who experience less health problems are more likely to be happier and less depressed than their unhealthy counterparts. Even though
No, that's fine. Forget it. There's just one different sentence. Read it again. Read it again. People who
experience less health problems are more likely to be happier and less likely sorry sir, फिर से पढ़ती हूँ, sir.
less depressed yeah.
People who experience less health problems are more likely to be happier and less depressed than their unhealthy counterparts.
Okay. Can anyone tell me if there is a mistake in the sentence? If there is, where is the mistake? If there is any error in the sentence?
Yes, sir.
Where?
Sir, more likely to be happier में more and happier दोनों ही या तो more आएगा या happier आएगा.
No, that's not the point. The happier is used in a different context here. More likely. ये इसके साथ में है. So that's fine.
Unhealthy.
Anyone can answer, guys. Anyone feels there is a mistake in any of the words given here? Yeah, what is the mistake?
Sir.
Sorry?
Less health, sir.
What? Yeah. What is the problem with that?
People who experience less health problems.
Okay.
Most, I think, people who experience most health problems are more likely to be happier.
Sir,
that's not the word. You're right, but that's not the word. What is the word that should come in place of less? Sorry?
More, sir? More?
No.
People who experience more health problems.
I got your answer. That is not right. That is not right. Yeah, someone else was saying something.
Sir, can I use your list?
Like
No.
the least health problems.
No.
Lesser.
Lesser is not the right word though. You are close to it.
No, what is
lesser किसी चीज के comparison में use होता है, guys. There is no comparison here. If you look at the sentence,
Sir, it is only
no,
people
guys,
who
I got your
experience health
answer.
problems.
Don't use the words again and again. Least, I got the answer. There's no point in repeating. मैंने already कह दिया कि that is not the right answer. Okay?
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, someone else was saying something. Dipali, what were you saying?
Sir, nothing will come. People who experience health problems.
No. Guys, there is no comparison here.
Most health problem.
Think out of the box. I'm just telling you all there is no comparison here. You all are still repeating more, most, least, less.
Sir, no.
The word that should be
People who
used here
experience
is fewer,
fewer.
guys. इसका मतलब क्या है sentence का? Always try and understand the meaning of the sentence. Now read the sentence. Dipali, read the sentence. Dipali, read the sentence.
Yes, sir. Flower health problem.
पूरा sentence पढ़िए दीपाली, पूरा sentence पढ़िए please. People
who experience fever health problem are more fever health problem
fever
are
नहीं, वो
more
fewer
like
है.
fever health problem are more likely to be happier and less depressed than their unhealthy.
Dipali, why are you reading so hesitantly? इतना हिचकिचा के क्यों पढ़ रहे हो आप? Clearly पढ़िए. People who experience fewer health problems are more likely to be happier and less depressed than their unhealthy counterparts. We use the words less, least, more, most when we are talking about comparative and when we are talking about superlative degree. In the first part of the sentence, guys, it is simply stating, the speaker is simply stating कि जिनको कम health problems होते हैं, so that's why the word used here is in terms of the base form. So that's why there is no comparison in the first part of the sentence. So that's why least and less, least, less, more, most are incorrect. Always try and understand the meaning of the sentence first and then see whether there is a mistake or no. So this is the correct sentence. We don't need to use less than what? There's no thing to compare here. Simply fewer, मतलब जिनको कम health problems होते हैं, chances ये है कि वो ज़्यादा खुश रहते हैं और कम depressed रहते हैं. किनसे? Less depressed than their unhealthy counterparts. Means unhealthy counterparts meaning people who are less healthy. That's what it basically means. So then that is the comparison. In the first part, there is no comparison. Okay. All right. Yeah, I will have discussed the other two, but we will get disconnected. Before that, let me share the leaderboard here. Okay. Yeah, this is it. So when we do the comparative superlative next time, I'll share more exercises with error finding exercises. But in your free time, please practice this. Okay, look up something online and also use the topic that we have online, so you can practice it in your free time. Okay, on our app is what I mean, on our Hello English app. Okay, well done. Thank you very much. Have a great afternoon, and I will see you guys at 4 p.m. Okay, thank you. Take care.